I hate to say it, it's only going to be going one way, and that is Novak Djokovic will win Wimbledon this year. I can't see him losing. Simply too good. So dominant here at Wimbledon, and I reckon he's going to get to number 24 and 5 Wimbledons in a row.
The only person that can stop Novak Djokovic in this tournament is Novak Djokovic.
Andy Murray.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Or Sir Andy will come on. Other than that, it'll be Djokovic against his own body. Can he keep his body fit for the whole 2 weeks? If he can, probably name on the trophy. She has the easiest draw out of everyone. And I feel that Iga will win Wimbledon. She had a practice tournament this time. She didn't have one last year. She probably learned from her mistake.
I'm going to be going for Donna Vekic, the one with the 17th easiest draw according to AI. And I'm going to be having Donna Vekic winning Wimbledon 2023.
I would love to see Novak Djokovic take home his 24th Grand Slam title this year at Wimbledon. And I would like to see Sabalenka win as well.
Sebastian Korda claiming his first Grand Slam title. On the women's side, I'm going past the Pinko.
Kicking off on the men's side, Novak Djokovic will have as many Grand Slams as there are hours in the day. And on the women's side, I'm going with Ons Jabeur. She's going to be your women's champion. Let's go!
Another big win for Novak Djokovic in the men's singles. And for the women's, I think Ons Jabeur is going to make us very happy, and she's going to take the women's Wimbledon title.
Djokovic's dreams of a calendar slam are going to be shattered again. And it's the little Spaniard that's going to do it. Carlitos Alcaraz will win Wimbledon.
Hey, welcome back, tennis fans. The semi-finals for the women's is over, and we've got 2 fantastic finalists in store for you. And it's not the Belarusian versus the Ukrainian that we were sort of fearing on the last podcast. It's the other 2. It is Vondrousova and Jabeur that make it to the final. JG, 2 great matches earlier on today. And I think 2 worthy winners as well.
Well, I can't say I saw it coming. My predictions were 100% wrong on the last episode because I thought we was going to get the political final of Sabalenka versus Svitolina. Instead, we've got Vondrousova versus Jabeur. And every single step of the way, I think I've had Jabeur going out. And she proves me wrong every single time. Vondrousova is the real surprise package on the women's. Nobody really had her in her bracket getting to the final. And, on Jabeur, some people did believe in her, especially some of our commentary team. A lot of them had Ons Jabeur winning, so credit to you guys. She's not won yet, but still very good pick if you can get someone who's got all the way to the final. She will be going into the final as well. You've got to remember, probably as the marginal favourite, considering she was here last year. But I know we're going to get into the semi-final matches, what made this final, but just a few words about both of them. Firstly, Jabeur, I think the way she is playing is probably the best she's ever played in her career. I would say she's playing better this year than she did last year at Wimbledon. Yeah. I see a fearlessness in her, a hunger. She's been able to inflict revenge on Rybakina, which I think is very vital, considering that side of the draw is the side of death, really. You had Rybakina and Sabalenka, a lot of other tough players as well. And I didn't believe that we would have Ons Jabeur as the one who gets out of that really tricky half. So she's done extremely well with a tough draw, and I think she's playing with a smile on her face and better than last year. Vondrousova has also had not an easy draw. She's beaten some really tough players to get there. She didn't have to play... who is it? She didn't have to play Iga because Svitolina beat her. So she avoided Iga, one of the big 3. But still, there's been tough opponents. And for me, she is hitting the ball maybe harder than Ons Jabeur. And she might have that, but it's hard to say. I don't know. Ons is not doing too bad, but I feel like she might have that power differential.
It's a very, very interesting matchup. That's all I'd say about this final. The way that it sort of played out today, we started off with Vondrousova against Svitolina. The crowd were clearly on one side. They were cheering on. It's not that they dislike Vondrousova, but the story of Svitolina, that everyone was getting behind her, coming back after giving birth. I thought that Vondrousova played exceptionally well. She's such a tricky player to play against. She hit, like you said, she hits hard, and the top spin she gets on her forehand, and she's a crafty lefty as well. You've got to remember this. I feel like Svitolina struggled with the fact she was a lefty. She was trying to hit into the backhand, what's normally the backhand. It's her forehand, and Vondrousova was just targeting Svitolina's backhand the whole first set, and it paid off. It was just a tactic that I thought maybe it was a bit predictable, but it seemed that she went there maybe 5 times, 6 times. On the 6th time, Svitolina sort of just lost the energy, and then it went into the net. Or it was a clever tactic. I wouldn't say it was the most exciting tactic, but it was effective. And ultimately, Svitolina, she was the one who had to start making changes to try and come back into the match, because she lost the first set. I was thinking about half an hour. It was done, dusted. And then the second set, she was down 4-love, and it looked like she was going to get bageled. And then suddenly, the fire within Svitolina, it erupted. Errors from Vondrousova. A lot of double faults today. That would be the one negative, I'd say, about her game. But some clutch tennis when she was seeing Svitolina coming back. And she has great recoverability with chops and slices. She gets out to the angles and chops it really low back over the net. And Svitolina couldn't handle those sometimes.
Yeah, I saw that squash shot, which was really important. I don't know if it was to break or to hold serve. It was at a critical moment. She had on the run, this squash shot.
Amazing.
All I was thinking about is she plays a bit like Ben, just a lot better, because that is your shot on the run, the squash shot. But what really strikes me about Vondrousova is her emotion, or lack of emotion. She seems like a bit of a silent assassin, stone cold. You don't really know what she's thinking when she's playing tennis. She's not that emotional on the court. She hits a bad shot, she remains the same as if she hits a good shot. And I do feel like, I know I keep saying, going back to the power thing, does she have more power than Ons Jabeur? Maybe not, but it's just the way she plays. Because there's not much emotion, it makes it look effortless. And when it looks effortless and you see just the ball sort of ping off and find winners, it makes it look like she's just got loads of power.
I know what you mean.
I can't explain it. It's like it's a bit of an illusion. She is.
The
Wimbledon illusion.
The way that she plays as well, she's solid off both wings. I feel like it's the backhand which is the straighter, more deadly shot. The forehand on this surface, it's very deceptive, because it's almost like a Rafa style forehand. The way she whips up the back of the ball, but the technique, the way it loops, it looks like it's going out every time, and it just drops in on the baseline. The top spin just carries it down.
Well, she did get to the final Roland Garros, so maybe she is a bit of a Rafa.
Well, she's definitely, and that was 4 years ago as well.
2019.
So, yeah, exactly right. So, and I think that was when she was 19 as well. So I think that she's only 23 now, if I'm right in thinking.
Yep.
But it's incredible. No, she'd be is that actually right? Is she 23? Let me just double check it out. I don't want to give any false information. Oh, she's 24. Apologies. She's literally just turned 24. So yeah, I think that obviously she had this injury and stuff like that. We'll get into that in a second, but I want to go through some of the stats and things that we did have for her. Let's go through some of those now. And this one, we're obviously speaking about that Roland Garros final she got to in 2019. Then there's like a 2-year gap. Then she got to the Olympics final as well. And now she's in the Wimbledon final. So all surfaces, she's been in a big final now.
I can't really understand her. She's a strange player, and she's emotionless. She's just very good as well, and young, like you say. I don't have anything critical to say about Vondrousova.
Afterwards, she had emotion, though. I don't think it's just during the match.
It's just during the match, for sure. Yeah. And she definitely is quite chatty as well to other players. So it's more just in the moment, which I can understand. Very focused. But yeah, it's a difficult one to really assess, because what's her surface? I'm not sure. I've always said on the podcast she's a clay courter. But probably I'm basing that off the Roland Garros. Now, if someone asks me, I'll say, "Oh, she's probably a grass courter." So I don't know. Maybe she's just a bit of good at everything. She's clearly not that consistent, though. Let's not beat around the bush. She's not that consistent because otherwise it wouldn't be every 2 years she gets to a big final. But granted, they're not just any final. These are Grand Slam finals and an Olympic final. It's big. It's a big deal. And also, she's the first ever unseeded player to reach the women's singles final at Wimbledon, which is, of course, massive. The one thing on that, though, I feel Serena Williams did get there. I think that's not completely correct. I think the other stat is she's the first since Serena Williams in 2018, because at the time she was unseeded.
Yeah, I believe so. I think it's like it's in the Open era. It's her, but Serena Williams one. I feel like that is a fake.
Doesn't really count.
It's a
No.
fake one, isn't
She
it?
kind of is the only unseeded player.
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
Serena's, I don't care. It's Serena.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, for the fact that she came into this tournament, I was having a look at some of I tried to find a website with the odds, and it said that she was 80-1
Yeah, that's
to
about
win
right,
this. Yeah, to win the
Yeah,
tournament.
it's a big unknown, and I didn't expect it. And she's a bit hot and cold. Is she going to follow this up now with big results across the board? She's definitely capable of doing it, but from what we've seen, she does this and then she goes off the boil for a little bit. Then she'll be back. But I have no doubts that we're going to see her in another big final, and I reckon she'll be in another Grand Slam final in the next 2 years. She'll probably make another one because she's got that winning mentality. When things are going well, she can really ride the ripple of form more than most players, and she's having a really informed time. Don't write her off winning the whole thing.
Yeah, she's had some bad luck with injuries as well. I think that's the one reason we haven't seen her.
Maybe that's what it has been then.
Yeah, she's had it's one of the most common, but one of the most devastating, which is the elbow injury, and she's had problems with that elbow. It sidelined her for 6 months, and she goes in to talk about that in her post-match, on-court press conference, I guess you could call it, or post-match interview. She said, "I didn't play for 6 months last year. You never know if you can be at that level again. I'm just so grateful to be here and be healthy and to play tennis again. I was here last year watching my best friend play qualies with a cast on. I'm very grateful." Yeah, it's really, really, it puts things into perspective, doesn't it? When players of this level, they don't even know if they play tennis again, like in those situations. Like, look at Dominic Thiem. I mean, he's never been the same again.
No.
Like, and it's worrying for a professional tennis player when something serious happens.
For sure.
And when will you ever find that level again? Because the tour moves on, and everyone improves. So,
no, it's a good point you make, and probably we've maybe been harsh on other episodes over the years with her, because probably she just had a bit of an unfortunate time of injuries, and that's why she's not been at her best level. But her best level is one of the very best in the world, and she's a great player. And I'm glad that she's clearly feeling a lot better from the injury, and we're getting to see some of the best of her again, like we did in 2019. That year in 2019, by the way, she was dubbed to be one of the next best things. Like you said, she was like 19 years old, got to a Grand Slam final. Everyone was getting excited and hyping her up, a bit like sort of Raducanu and Leylah Fernandez, and didn't quite amount to much after that, but still was doing okay on the tour. But I'm glad she's back again, because she definitely deserves to be there. Good player.
yeah, and that was one thing, her playing Svitolina today, that back in 2019, that was an incredible year for both of them. I mean, Svitolina made 2 semi-finals of slams, and she made a final of the other slam. So for that year, those two playing, they probably had memories of 4 years ago being deep in a slam before, and who was going to finally get to the final. Unfortunately, it wasn't Svitolina. The story ended for her. But
yeah, I feel like we've got to talk about her briefly before we move on to the other one, to Ons Jabeur's match, because you can't be disheartened about any of it. It's just an incredible run from her. She surpassed what she thought she was going to be able to do. I know she was planning on going to watch Harry Styles, wasn't able to do that. She had to extend her stay as well with the accommodation. She got into a few issues there. You can read about that on Twitter, I'm sure, if you're interested.
Brilliant.
But she was able to keep doing it, and she wasn't very good today. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think she played great. She had a lot of fight to try and get back into that second set, and she broke back from 4-love down to get it to 4-3, back on serve. But I just don't feel like she had the staying power, and she wasn't at her best. I thought there's far too many errors for her to win the tennis match, and she can't beat herself up. She went out in a bit of a limp, really, but great tournament and got to the semi-final of Wimbledon. So fair play to her.
Yeah, I'm glad she showed a little bit of fight in that second set, just to give the crowd something to really get hold of, because
I think
otherwise
Vondrousova kind of allowed her in though by making mistakes to give her the opportunity, like you said, some of the double faults and stuff at crucial times.
Yeah, I mean there was far too many. I mean, to give away so many and
She was
still
given
win.
a chance, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I know
Right.
Svitolina is with Monfils and her baby Sky.
Yeah,
For
yeah,
those
yeah. That's right.
interested, and she was really pleased about that.
Here's that stat. Just I know that you were speaking about before. This is the one with the Serena Williams in, saying that Vondrousova, the second lowest ranked player to reach the women's singles final at Wimbledon since the rankings were introduced.
Yeah, I knew that was right. I think Morgado just made it up.
Jose, what are you up to?
I'm just glad I know it.
There you go. Look at that, JG on top of the stats.
No, because I remember 2018 when she was 181 in the world getting to the final.
There you go. Look at these ones as well. And you can see there's a few other names on the list. We've got Venus Williams, number 31 in 2017. Sabine Lisicki as number 24 in 2013. And we had, obviously, Jelena Rybakina, number 23. And that was last year.
Yep.
So there you go. That's all we've got there. This one, talking about lefties. Marketa Vondrousova is the fourth left-handed player to reach the women's singles final in Wimbledon and Roland Garros in the Open era, after Anne Jones, Martina Navratilova, and Monica Seles. Southpaw. I like always this word afterwards that they try and. There has to be a little exclamation word at the end of all of these tweets.
Yeah, let me have a look at my tennis knowledge. I don't have a clue who Anne Jones is. Is that really bad of me not to know who she is? Do you know who she is?
I'm not very familiar with Anne Jones. I'm not going to lie.
British.
That's why I thought she sounded very British, Anne Jones. Well.
Oh, okay. I think it was a long, long time ago.
Oh, look at those pics. I mean, should we get a picture up of Anne Jones?
Anne Jones won Wimbledon in 1969.
I think we've got to put a picture of Anne Jones up just so that if people are watching, then
is it black and white?
Of course, it'll be black and white. Oh, there's a picture of her playing. Let's get a picture of her up when she was actually lifting the trophy, because that would be a nicer one.
Is Francesca Jones related?
Oh, maybe. All right, let me just bring this one up.
Tom Jones related?
Yeah, probably. Here we go.
There she is. Wimbledon champion.
Anne Jones. There she is, holding the trophy aloft. How old was she there?
Not sure.
Anyway.
Let's move away.
Irrelevant for
she was a left-handed player. Interesting.
That's right. So, right, let's move along. And this one, she had her doubles partner. I think she pulled out of the doubles, if I'm right. Is that correct in this tournament?
I'm
and
sure.
She was very obviously going so deep in the singles. You'd expect this type of thing. Her doubles partner, Miriam. I'm going to try the surname. Sorry if I get it wrong. Kolodjikova. I'm going to go with. And she was happy that Marketa won too. And look at this. Great to see a great friend in the stands feeling the same emotions that probably Marketa was feeling on the court as well. So
yeah, probably crying because she didn't get any prize money. Oh, great! You done well in the singles. Where's my money?
Maybe she said.
Now.
Well, maybe she said, if you let me pull out the doubles, I'll give you a little wedge.
Hopefully, she gives her a share for pulling out.
Why not? I mean, surely there's got to be some compensation.
If she did pull out, or is it fake news from you again? I'm going to get all the comments in tomorrow saying she never pulled out. They lost.
Well, let's have a look quickly because I can confirm it. Vondrousova doubles withdraw. Let's have a look. Up in Wimbledon.
Yeah,
as well.
walkover. She did withdraw against Mertin Sanders.
There
round
you
of
go.
16.
See, I knew I read it on Twitter somewhere, but you never know if you're going down a feed if it's from like 2 years ago. Sometimes they sneak them in there, the old ones.
Yeah, so
Anyway.
that's probably why she's crying.
Move on. Right. We had Ons Jabeur.
It's her, it's her. We're talking. You need to start this section to it's her, it's her, it's her. We're talking about Ons Jabeur.
Well, we can actually play it if you really want to. We can actually have the Ons Jabeur button. We've got it here. It was played a lot today. We can have it for the audio listeners. If you're listening to the podcast and you don't catch our watch-alongs, we have the Ons Jabeur button where her song plays if she wins a set or maybe just a break of serve or something. Vondrousova has one too, but it's not quite the same as the Ons Jabeur button. Here it is. It's her, it's her, it's her. We're talking about Ons Jabeur. Talking about Ons Jabeur. We're talking about Ons Jabeur. We're talking about Ons Jabeur.
There we go. Never had a breather before in a podcast, but I appreciate it.
Interlude there, and what a match it was. We had Sabalenka. She was competitive as ever, but there's always that frailty there with Sabalenka, and that's what I said to you in that last podcast when we were doing the predictions. I had the belief that despite Sabalenka being ahead, I thought that there was always a chance she could capitulate in that semi-final and Ons Jabeur would come back and win. And that's exactly what happened. I'm so happy I stuck to my guns and went Jabeur in 3. And Saba, I'm sorry that I sort of threw her under the bus and said it's going to be another Pliskova. It was another Pliskova performance. And I feel like Jabeur earned this.
That's harsh.
I feel like Jabeur earned this more than Pliskova earned her one, but it still had its double faults. It still had its moments of madness from Sabalenka today because she really should have won the match. If she had played her best tennis, she would have won it. But Ons Jabeur stuck in there, returned fantastically well today.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
That's one of the big takeaways. Not many people can return Sabalenka's serves. And she returned.
I think she won the second set on a really good return down the line. Was it a backhand?
Yes, it was
brilliant.
That
was a special moment. But I think you're being slightly harsh on Sabalenka. It didn't feel like a massive bottle like maybe previous matches. I can understand what you mean because she was up a set 4-2 up.
Yeah.
And with her serve, really, if she gets a break, you should be able to just close it out from that position. So she definitely got a little bit tense. I don't doubt that at all. But I think bottle was harsh. I mean, they went to juice when she got broken to go 4-4 for Jabeur to get it back into the business end. She ended a break point at the last one. It was just very nip and tuck, and I think you just got to credit Ons Jabeur in the fact that she played very well in big moments today. She rose to the occasion. Any big point, she was there to save a break point or to break. And I was really impressed. Like I keep putting her out every round. She keeps coming through and winning and proving me wrong. A bit like Raducanu at the US Open when every round I was like, oh yeah, she'll go out now. I feel like this has happened for me this year with Ons Jabeur. Every round I've had her going out and she keeps winning. So
incredible.
And I think the way she's winning is purely she's playing the best tennis I've ever seen her play. Better than last year's run, in my opinion. And I also think she's playing the big points extremely well. And tennis comes down to fine margins and playing big points. And that's what she's doing. Sabalenka was a mini bottle, but I don't really want to be as harsh. I think Roland Garros was a bigger bottle than this one.
I don't even think it was like a bottle. I feel like there was, like you say, there are small moments where maybe the Jabeur, like it says on the screen here, maybe the old me would have lost the match today. And she has leveled up. She's said in a post-match press conference, she's been working.
Impressed, man.
She's been working so hard off the court. And she said, no one gets to see how much hard work I'm putting in. And she said, sometimes I don't even want to do it. I hate it, but I know I've got to do it because this is the result. And she said, I just know. She said last year she came in injured, didn't even expect to even get that far. And she got to the final. This year she's not injured. and she's back to the final again. She looks better than ever, and she's the favourite again. She was the favourite last year in the final. She's a bigger favourite in this final. That is a lot of pressure to be putting on Ons Jabeur, but this Ons Jabeur, I feel, may be able to handle it slightly better. So let's move on to the next tweet. And this is about her talking about facing Marketa Vondrousova in the Wimbledon final. Said, do you know who you're playing in the final? She said, oh, yeah, I was watching. Marketa is a great player. I already lost 2 times to her this year. I'm going for my revenge, I guess, is working. Yeah, she's after revenge a lot, isn't she, in this Wimbledon? What's going on?
She got it against Rybakina. Who's to say she can't get it against Vondrousova as well? I was just having a little look while you said that about the head-to-head. And the 2 times they've played this year, Vondrousova won both of them.
Yep.
One at the Australian Open,
Second
at
round.
Grand Slam, and the next one at Indian Wells. So Jabeur's beaten her on grass at Eastbourne in 2021. 2022, Stuttgart, Jabeur beat her on the clay. And then the one before, I wouldn't even count it. I mean, I don't know how old they were. It was in Prague in 2015. So, gosh, I mean, Vondrousova was probably, 16 years old?
Maybe. And this is on the screen, the Ons Jabeur Revenge Tour. So we've got the Wimbledon revenge over Kvitova, who beat her in 2019. We've got the revenge over Sabalenka, who beat her in 2021. We've got revenge over Rybakina, who beat her in 2022. And now the final step is for her, is the revenge win over Vondrousova.
Who's beaten her twice in 2023. It even lines up perfectly.
This is it.
The revenge tour.
The revenge tour is here. Ons Jabeur revenge tour. I like it. It's got a little bit. It's a different narrative to the Svitolina story.
Yeah, that's true.
But I quite like it. I quite like that there is a narrative here. Anyway, so let's go on to the next one, and this one obviously talking about the big opportunity with the draw and took it well. Last year, that was it. She took the good draw well. This year, she had the draw of death, facing 4 Grand Slam champions and 3 title favorites: Andreescu, Kvitova, Rybakina, Sabalenka. What an incredible run!
I've had her going out every time. So I think I had her beating Andreescu. Aside from that, I thought she was going to lose to Kvitova, then Rybakina, and then Sabalenka. So I don't know what I'm doing. I'm terrible. Don't know anything about tennis, but I'm pleased for her. She's proved me wrong every step of the way, and it is an incredible run.
It really is an incredible run. Right, the next one, Ons Jabeur, always bringing the humour. We saw her coping mechanisms, which he's talking about Sabalenka. She was really loud, hitting the ball really hard, but we didn't figure out let me read this again. So he said, Ons Jabeur was always bringing the humour. We saw her coping mechanisms. She was really loud, hitting the ball really hard, but we didn't figure out your coping mechanisms. Ons said, she was screaming for both of us, I guess.
She's very good friends with Sabalenka as well. They've got a great relationship off the court. And
I like it. It's really good. You should have seen earlier on when they were coming out. This is the one thing that I noted as the coverage started. And I like these little things that aren't actually on the tennis court, which you pick up the personalities or how they're feeling in a moment. And they were stood out the back waiting to go onto court, where they say like, oh, we've got like 2 more minutes, 2 more. And there's the guy who sort of works there. I'm not sure what he's like, maybe master of ceremony or something like that. He's just waiting there just to tell them. Sabalenka is in the background, just staring, walking, pacing, just saying nothing. And Ons Jabeur chatting to the guy, going, who won this trophy? What's that over there? What's this history? What's that? What's that mean? And they're all like, well, hey, like putting her arm around him, poking her tongue out. I was like, she's so relaxed. I love this. And then you look in the background, Saba's got like a death stare. I'm like, what's going on? It's completely 2 ways of getting ready for the match. But then they came on and Saba started really well. So I was like, oh, well, maybe Ons Jabeur should have been a little bit more like that. But just goes to show being
Different
relaxed.
It's different styles, though. Everyone
Yeah.
approaches big matches differently. What I want to ask you is, what one would you be more of? Are you more of an Ons Jabeur before? Obviously, you don't play big matches, but if you were to play big matches, how would you approach it? Ons Jabeur style or Sabalenka style?
Yeah, I'd be probably more on Jabeur style, I think.
It's funny because I would be more of a Sabalenka. Like I would have music in. I wouldn't talk to anyone. I would psych myself up to the point of probably cold sweats before I got on.
I would just want to not think about
Probably
it until
collapse. I'd probably get onto the first point and just faint with all the nerves.
a few double faults in there.
I'd just be so hyped.
That's it. But I like the way that Ons Jabeur is
It works for
treating
her.
this.
It definitely
Yeah.
works for her. It's her personality, and that's how she expresses herself, and that's how she copes with these matches and prepares.
It's a
Clearly
coping
working.
mechanism.
So, yeah,
It's definitely a coping mechanism as well. And that's what we're talking about, the coping mechanisms on court. I feel that that's
her
Ons
one is
Jabeur's
that. Yeah,
go-to is I'm going to talk to you. If I'm nervous, I'm going to have fun. And I'm
Yeah.
going to like have a little bit of a laugh here with whoever's around. Because she's not going I saw she even looked back to like Saber at one point to see if she was joining in the laugh. But unfortunately, no, she was staring. Right.
the scary
so-
one as well.
Exactly right. Right, take us through this one.
Ons Jabeur is the third woman in the last 20 years to reach back-to-back Wimbledon finals. Serena and Venus Williams are the only other names on the list. Ons is in good company.
I mean, say no more. I mean, you see those two ladies on the right of the screen. It's incredible what she's done. And we said it, I think, in the last podcast, how difficult it is to get to back-to-back Wimbledon finals.
Definitely.
It's nearly impossible. So
It's definitely a real goal of hers, though, because since achieving last year's final, I don't know if you know what Ons Jabeur's screensaver on her phone is. It is
Yeah.
a picture of the trophy.
yes,
And
saw
that,
that.
I believe, was broadcast on Breakpoint on Netflix. That's how everyone knows about that. It's not that we're
Yeah.
just looking at her phone
Yeah, I saw
and hacked it.
yeah, that's it. I saw a tweet and it was just her laying on like a what do you call it, like a masseuse
The bed, the massage beds.
massage bed, yeah, and she just had the phone up showing the
Yeah.
Wimbledon trophy on the back. So
I don't
it's
think
like
it can be a prouder moment for her. It's very genuine. Do you know what I mean? Like that's her screensaver. That's what she's every day she wakes up to look at. She generally
Manifests it.
she's manifesting her winning this trophy, which is her dream. It's like my one, my phone, my screensaver on my phone is the YouTube plaque of 100K. So every morning I look at that and think, oh, I'm going to get there. What's
My-
yours?
My one is a scoreline where I beat you at tennis, and I keep looking at it, but it's not happened yet. It's on there. It's
So
a
where did
little
you make that on Photoshop?
yeah, it's just one of those little gold medals they put around you. It's a little key ring. But I've just got one of them. So that's what I'm building. Yeah, that's it. I'm building up to it. Don't worry, it's coming soon. I'm telling you. I'm starting with table tennis, and I might be able to do something on the table tennis table. And then if I can push that up to the bigger courts,
You
then,
will beat me one day. I'm sure of it.
I need to play more regularly.
You
Otherwise,
have beat
it'll
me in
never happen.
sets.
Yeah, but it's not that's
In the
the
rain.
loser's mentality.
In
It's a
the
great
rain.
I'm a great loser. I'm turning into a pagula. Right.
Next up.
We're talking about back-to-back Wimbledon finals and women who reach back-to-back Wimbledon finals from 1968 to 2023. Look at these names on this list. Navratilova, 9 back-to-back Wimbledon finals. We've got Eva there with 5, Venus with 4, Graf with 3, King with 3, Serena with 3, Court with 2, Goolagong 2, Jabeur 2, Sanchez Vicario 2.
If she wins Saturday, she's going to go down as a Wimbledon legend, if not already.
Yeah.
The thing is, you don't remember the ones who just keep getting to the final and losing. And she's got back-to-back now, but she needs to win. You start getting a reputation of, oh, I'm going to get to these Wimbledon finals and keep losing them.
Yeah.
Does she really? Can she be considered in the same group with the names you said? For me, no. No one remembers the losers. It's a great achievement. So difficult to get to a final of a slam. You need to win one though. You can't keep getting to finals and losing them, and that's why it's so important she does win. If she is able to, she goes down as one of them legends of Wimbledon, no doubt about it. And she'll have her photo when she's walking down the tunnel.
And if she doesn't, she'll be Casper Ruud.
No,
No,
come on.
I'm
If she
joking.
doesn't, she for me, she's not a Wimbledon legend.
I still feel like she's
just
got
someone
so
who
many
plays very
more
well
years.
there.
She's got so many more years to potentially
Exactly.
win it as well.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I feel like she's
Well,
always a threat
Let's
there.
be honest. Next year's Wimbledon, and you'd be silly not to have her going far again because she clearly likes it here and plays her best tennis. So
Definitely.
who's to say she can't get to another final next year?
I definitely will be considering it in my bracket.
You'll put it and she'll go out first round.
Well, I put it this year, and look where she is.
Exactly. You did well. What was
That's
your
it.
final? Iga Ons.
Yeah, Iga Ons. I think that
Yeah,
Iga.
Bekic did great.
Yeah,
She
she
went
was a
out to
good one.
Vondrousova. I mean, it's not the worst. Imagine if she beat Vondrousova, she probably would have been in that final.
I'm still wishing that one of us had Vondrousova as a surprise package as well. That would have been the best one ever. But
Yeah,
Svitolina
top
wasn't
12.
bad. Take it.
Yeah, I forget who mine won. I think it's
I
Mukova.
can
She
read
did
them if
well.
you. I think
No.
I've got them all here.
Let's save it for the next episode.
Got them
Have
all.
you got any more tweets to go through?
No, that's the last one. That's all of our
Oh.
tweets. We're all tweeted out. Let's get some predictions in for this final. Right. Let's get the main image back up again because it is a nice one. There they are.
1
Friends.
second. What did you say? Predictions?
Ooh.
That's right. It is
Ooh.
prediction time. We should use that more often,
Yeah.
really. It makes sense.
Might add some like actual words so that the audio
You'll-
listeners would understand what's going on. That's a predictions button from our live watch alongs, just in case you're only listening to the pods.
And also, if for the audio listeners, shout out to you guys. We don't give you a shout out enough. If you are watching on YouTube, please go listen to us on Spotify as well. Even if you predominantly use YouTube, give us a follow on there. Give us some
Apple
5
Podcasts.
stars or Apple Podcasts as well, because it really does help us out. So if you want to help the channel and you don't want to put any money towards it, you can do it for free by just going to Spotify and liking all of our stuff on there. Just give us a
Definitely.
follow.
Share it as well.
Yeah.
Come on. We want to be seen by everyone. There's some new features as well on Spotify where they actually have a comment section on all of our podcasts there now, and polls that we're running on Spotify. So go check
Cool.
that out.
Predictions. I'll let you go first, seeing as you're the best at them now.
That's it. Wow. King of predictions. You know what I mean? I have a lot of pressure now. I feel a bit like Ons Jabeur in the final. I've become favourite to win. For me, this is going to be, I'm not going to go too crazy on my prediction. I thought that Ons was going to get to the final and she was going to face Iga, and that was why she was going to lose, because Iga sort of has her number. Now she's playing Vondrousova. I feel that she can do it. I feel that this is the time that Ons Jabeur, we're going to finally see her win a slam. And I don't think it's going to be as easy as what everybody probably thinks. She's 1.44 on the betting odds, which is quite good. But I still think she's going to drop a set. And I think it will probably be the opening set as well. And I think she'll come back again, and then it'll be the reverse of last year. She won the first set against Rybakina last year in the final, and she lost in 3. I think it goes the opposite way this time. She loses the first set, but then she wins in 3.
I was also going to go for something similar, but just to be different, I'm going to have Ons Jabeur winning in straight sets. I think they're going to be 2 tight ones, maybe a 7-5, 7-5, or a tie-break and a 5. I think we're going to see 2 tight, close sets, which Ons Jabeur just about sneaks.
Nice. We've got to mention that shot that she did today as well. I mean, in the tie break, in the first set, it was, for me, one of the shots of the tournament. It's up there with the Rublev one. Rublev one was crazy because he said, I didn't even know where it was going to go. Well, Ons Jabeur knew where this shot was going to go. And that was one of the reasons that I grew to love her. Remember I can't remember how many years ago she played Simona Halep, I think it was in
Not
was
this
it
match again.
in Dubai, was it? And she hit that same shot on the run down the line. And today it was better than that one. I thought it was incredible. She didn't even win the tiebreak, but still, that one shot alone, I was just blown away.
Well, don't give it shot of the tournament yet, because we also have some great matches tomorrow. We've got men's semi-final action, and I have a little sneak feeling that potentially we could see shot of the tournament done tomorrow, because it's Sinner Djokovic and Alcaraz Medvedev. Doesn't get any better. The four best players this year on tour battling it out at Wimbledon. We're going to see some fantastic shots. I'm no doubt about it. You make sure to join us. You cannot miss it. We're going to be covering them all, and I'm hoping we get some surprises. That's all I'm saying. I'm hoping we get some surprises. I'm not going to say any more than that.
I wonder what you could mean.
Just want to see some surprises, you know?
Just a few surprises. Right. Well, let us know your predictions for the women's final in the comments section below. I can't wait to actually watch this one. I'm nervous and excited because I think, we're big Ons Jabeur fans on the channel, and it's going to be hard not to be rooting for her in that final.
Exactly that. The match, if you are watching this before the big match, is going to be on very soon. So don't go anywhere. Make sure, hit that like button right now. Subscribe if you're new. We've just hit 55k subscribers.
54.
Is that what I said?
No, you said 55. You
Okay,
add in another.
No,
Go on.
maybe we have hit 55k at this
Maybe.
stage, because we've got the semi-final. So I'm assuming in the future that we're going to hit something. Whatever you do, just hit the subscribe button. Maybe we're on 100k by now. Who knows?
Yeah, well, that would be nice. Anyway, maybe you've manifested it with your picture from your phone.
Exactly that. Let's up. Yalla Ons, and we see you very soon.
Yalla.